discussing a topic of writing section, which is picture description. Now, from the word or from the name of the topic, it is clear that it refers to describing a picture. Now, picture description can have three patterns. First is that the person has to describe what is present in the picture. Second is that you can either make a story. You can be asked to make a story of your own, and a picture will be shown. Accordingly, you have to narrate your own story. Or third is that a picture is provided and the examiner can ask you to talk about how you feel about that picture, or what are your concerns related to that picture. So these are the different patterns of picture description. Picture description, I do not need to define that. It is basically describing the picture accordingly what the examiner asks you to describe. Now, that picture can be a picture, it can be a photograph, it can be an action scene, or it can be just a sketch of some person, right? Or it can be a quote. There's a quote written in the picture and then you have to describe that quote. So it can be anything. So picture can be in the form of, first, it can be a simple picture of an individual, or it can be an action scene. If not an action scene, it can be a picture containing quotes, or it can be a sketch of a person. Okay, so accordingly the examiner can provide you the pictures and you have to describe that picture of your own. Now, in describing the picture, make sure that you stick to the word limit. The word limit of a picture over here is 100 to 150 words, and in this 100 to 150 words you have to justify the picture. You have to put on the justice to the picture, where each and every small detail you have to mention in that picture. Now, the basic idea of giving this question is to analyze the student, right? The examiner basically wants to analyze you of how deep can you go in the picture, right? And what is your, I can say, recognition skills. What all can you concentrate on, or how much is your concentration skills, how much is your grasping power, and the way that you look at the picture tells about your personality as well. So it is, if even in one picture there are some hidden things, so you have to open your mind and be as accurate as possible to notice what all is present in that picture. So my word limit is 100 to 150 words. Now, the format of my picture description is same as story writing. Why? Because there you have to describe a story out of the points that we make. Just the difference is that instead of points you will be provided with a picture. Rest everything is the same. So the first point is that you have to start with a good introduction. Your introduction should be very powerful, because if your introduction is with full power and with full spice and with a good starting, then obviously the examiner will be interested in reading that and it will provide a good point to you. So first is your introduction. The introduction should be good. It should be spicy. It should contain the idea of the picture. The effect it has on people and society. So all this should be mentioned in the introduction section. After introduction comes your body. In the body section, basically the writer's point of view and the writer's suggestions, the ideas of the writer, or what the writer thinks about the picture has to be mentioned. So here it is basically the ideas of the writer about that picture has to be mentioned. And the third point is my conclusion. Over here in conclusion, you have to round off everything that you have said, round off every detail, conclude. Now suppose the picture is about a child working in a factory. So there again you have to conclude that a strict law should be made to stop child labor, or whatever from your side you want to conclude, that the factories should be banned, or the owners should be penalized for appointing child labor. So conclusion is that you round off all the details, or you suggest something, you give your suggestions, or you make your appeal. So this should be the format of my picture description. Now there are some important points that we need to remember while describing a picture. So let us look at the points, let us have a look at the points that we should keep in mind while composing a picture. So now let us understand some points to remember. So next heading can be points to remember. That point to remember is, the first point is that the student should make the content which is almost relatable to the picture. So first and most foremost thing is that content should be relatable to the picture. Right? First is that the content should be relatable to the picture. Second point is that do not break the link and focus between the content and the picture. There should always be a link between the content and the picture that you are describing. It is not like the picture is about a beach and you are describing deserts. No. If the picture is about the beach, then you definitely have to describe the beach and the sports that can be that are available in the beach, or what is the area around the beach, or the plantations around the beach, the people, how they, the dress of the, you can describe about the swimsuit, you can describe about coconuts, you can describe about suntan. So something which is relatable to the picture. It is not like you will describe about that while in deserts there's a lot of sand. Yes, you can put a contrast, but then do not just get deep into that contrast, right? Overall, everything should be relatable to the theme of your picture. So the third point is that make a remarkable ending. This is also very important to remember, a point to be considered, that if your picture composition is very nice but the ending is very boring, then entire interest is lost, because at the last the examiner becomes less convinced, due to which you can get less marks, your marks can be deducted. So this is important. And then the word limit is 100 to 150 words. That is also a point to remember, that if you portray your paragraph in less words, even then your marks will be cut. And if you go beyond 150, yes, you can touch 170, but if you go beyond 170, again there are chances of losing marks. So stay within the range. And the last and a very important point that you must remember is that before you begin writing the picture composition or the picture description, you should first make some points well before about what you have to speak or what you have to write during your composition to make your work become very easy and organized. So, brainstorm your mind before writing. Before writing, you should make sure that you have the ideas in mind so that your picture composition is very well organized. So now let us take a look of the example of one picture and how you can define that picture. So now let us understand picture composition through an example. Now over here a picture is provided to you, and now you have to analyze this picture, and accordingly you have to make a story of your own, or you have to describe the picture whatever appeals you. Now here we can see that this is a picture of 3 girls who are playing cricket. We can also see that they are carrying school bags on their back, which means that either they are bunking school or they are playing cricket after school. Now it is not compulsory that every individual has to make the same story. If there are 10 people who are viewing this picture, each of them will have their own prospects, they will have their own views, according to which each of their story will be different from one another at some point or the another. So here, looking at this picture, we can start the story as that there are 3 girls in the picture. We will not say 3 girls in the picture. Why? Because we have to make a story, or we have to describe the picture. So as I told you that my story or my picture composition will contain 3 parts. First, it will contain the introduction. Second, it will contain my body. And third, the appropriate conclusion. So when I talk about the introduction, here I can begin like the 3 girls, or I can say the 3 school-going girls have bunked their school to play a game of cricket. The area seems to be rural, and so it may be that these girls study in government schools. So we can say government, we can describe about government schools. Now after description of the picture in just a brief manner, because introduction is all brief, I can talk about my body. This is my paragraph number 1. This becomes my paragraph number 2. In the body, if I'm talking about government schools, then I can say that how poorly they are administered, right? So I can talk about poor administration of government schools. Then I can also talk about lack of infrastructure, no toilets in the school, right? No toilets, those are the separate toilets. maybe we can say that this is a reason for the girls not going to school, because they feel shy going to the common toilets, because maybe they are teased by the boys. So this can be one way of depicting the story. Another way of depicting the story can be that the three girls first went to the school, and then after their school was over, they did not want to go back to home. They wanted some spare time. They wanted to enjoy their time. Therefore, they decided to play a game of cricket. And then you can start by defining cricket, that these days cricket is not only the sport which is meant for boys, but even girls are outshining boys in this game. So why not the girls from rural areas? Because any Indian woman or any Indian girl can make their country feel proud of them by outshining the others. So this can be another route to the story. So through the picture there can be n number of conclusions which can be made. Here when I talk about lack of infrastructure, no separate toilets, so we can say that this is another. Then I can also say that poor education, as the government teachers are not that much dedicated towards the students. Then we can also talk about midday meals, that parents of the poor families send their children just because of the midday meal, so that they can bring food to their homes, and therefore the children are less likely to study over there, and they are more focused on the meals, so that they can provide one meal for the entire family. So this is how you can continue with the story. At last we can also conclude, we can make conclusions that government should make efforts to improve infrastructure, and innovate different ideas to encourage students to study. Then we can also say that right now I am talking about bunk, so we should not, no bunking should be allowed. We should focus on our studies so that we can make our families proud, we can make our parents proud, and we can stand on our own, we can stand for our own, we can be independent. This can happen only when we are provided with efficient education, so that we can make our lives better, and we can also make the lives of our family and our parents better. So this is how you can conclude. And if you're talking about the girl empowerment, that these days not only boys but girls also play cricket, they're also outshining boys, and etc, etc. So we can also conclude like the family should not put a bar on girls. If girls want to achieve something in life, then the families and the parents should support their decision. They should respect the decisions whatever they are making, and they should not just put a barrier in their career or in their lives, and they should not just they should not distinguish girls from boys. So that can be a women empowerment type of picture or your story. So in this video we have talked about picture composition, the different format, the format of picture composition, the different points that you need to remember while composing a picture. And we also learned picture composition through an example. So keep learning and keep practicing.